Tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it, buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, chart it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip and zip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jump and lock it, surf it, scroll it, pose it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch and
Hello, and welcome to Only Slightly Opinionated. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Joey.
And today we are only slightly opinionated about social media. But before we get to that, how are you?
Baby, I am so good.
Yeah? What you doing?
Yeah.
What you doing? What you do today? What you do this week?
Okay, so already we got up
Okay,
early today, and we
Yeah.
went to the movies.
Oh, you did? What'd you see?
We did. We saw The Last Voyage of the Demeter, or Demeter, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
What did they call it in the movie? Did they say
In the movie? I was paying attention because, you know, they all British and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they were like, the Demeter.
Because that's
The
what I would
Demeter.
say. I would say the
Okay.
Demeter too.
But I like the Demeter. It just sounds more like
It sounds dissident.
it sounds more like Romanian or wherever the fuck they were come from, Transylvanian and
Oh
Don't it though? I mean, yeah,
Transylvanian
when you hear a word, you're like, that's for sure Transylvanian.
Yeah. Many a word.
But
Have fallen.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I did enjoy watching the film, and it was.
That sounds real enthusiastic.
I should say. Okay, wait.
I didn't want to kill myself watching the film.
That's basically, you're right. That's kind of what I sounded like. But what I mean to say is, it's not a film that I will likely revisit. You know what I mean? Like, it was enjoyable and it was entertaining
it wasn't very
enough.
good, is what you're saying.
No, it was a well done film
for the audience. I'm speaking Joey. This is what Joey says when he doesn't like a film. Unless a film makes him expressly angry about something, film or television, then this is what you get. You get this sort of middling, mushy approval of the movie, but really you're saying that shit sucked.
Now listen, I'm sitting here trying to tell you some shit, and you trying to tell me what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I'm Joey. I'm Jamie's blaming you.
I'm used to it, but
oh please, come on, go on.
So anyway, don't rush me, bitch. But
Wait, first I'm stopping you from talking, and then I'm rushing you. I can't win. Okay, go ahead.
So,
speak.
I was tired today because we got up extra early, and so I was a little bit, I was just a little bit bleary-eyed seeing the movie. So, I mean, Marty very much enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it too. I mean, it has some great jump scares type things, and I'm not going to say any spoilers, but it was fun and an enjoyable movie to watch. I just, at the end, I was kind of like, okay, well, that was that movie. I mean, you know.
I think that's what most people think when they don't like a movie, unless they absolutely hate it.
Yeah, which,
you know what I mean? There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a jump. There's a big jump from, well, that was that, or, you know, I didn't really like it, to I fucking hated that piece of garbage.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of room in between those two things, I think.
True. I would agree with you.
That's what I think.
I mean, I tend to not hate a lot of movies. Like, I can tend to find enjoyment in, the mundane.
You're making my point for me.
Yes,
you really
that's
have
what
to,
I'm trying to do. If you would shut the fuck up, I would make the goddamn point.
But this isn't the point that I thought you were making at first. Now you're making a new point. So
now you're telling me what point I'm making.
Bitch, I swear to God, I'm gonna mute you. I have that power,
baby. So anyway, but the other thing, okay, no, shut the fuck up. The other thing that I really want to talk about, though, to make sure that I'm passing along, is Marty and I started about almost a week ago watching the show Snowfall.
Yeah.
It is so fucking good.
I've heard.
I mean, I had heard, I heard some decent things about it, and it was always sort of on my radar. But of course, the final season just aired, and so I was like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
cool, we can finally watch it now and binge the whole thing. And holy crap, it is so good. I mean, I knew it was going to be pretty decent, but I didn't expect it to be this good. And I really love. I don't know that you will like it because I know you have this thing where you don't like to root for an anti-hero.
Right.
And it is full of anti-heroes. It really is. So that's the whole cast. But it's three separate stories that you're following the whole time. Three separate stories of people that I'm obviously is going to eventually collide, although we're not there yet. But anyway, we finished the first season and I fucking loved it. So if anybody's looking for a good show out there, it is Snowfall, and it's available on the Hulu, and you should watch that shit. But yeah, so that's basically what I has been doing and what has been going on up in my hood.
Well, down
in my hood. Why gotta be down in my hood?
Because you're
Why
below
can't it be
me?
up in my hood?
Because you're below me. Geographically. You're in the
Ain't
south.
Nobody talking about the geographicness of my terminology.
I am.
Okay.
It was me.
All right,
I'm
then.
the daddy. What is that? That's from some Taylor Swift.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was
And
like a song. It's me, I'm the daddy, or some shit. I don't know.
Something, and then some celebrity who I can't think of now wore a T-shirt at her concert.
What's his name? Magic Mike, dude.
Oh yeah, Channing Tatum. Yeah,
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
I'm not a Swiftie. I don't. In fact, other than "Shake It Off," I don't think I can name another Taylor Swift song.
I absolutely with you. I have nothing against her.
Me either.
Against her at all. I just, for whatever reason, what I've heard besides "Shake It Off," just I was like, okay, that's not for me.
Yep. Don't come for us, Swifties.
Yes.
We ain't trying to say she's bad. We just saying.
Email us at OSO podcast contact at gmail.com. Don't do it, Swifties.
That address long enough. You didn't have to like pause. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know nothing about Swifties and all that.
No, me neither. No.
But anyway, baby, how are you doing? That's what the world want to know.
Is that what everybody really wants to know?
It is. I do believe.
I doubt that highly.
That's why they tune in.
I doubt that even more. Let's see. We went to the movies yesterday.
Oh, okay.
In the morning, and we saw Strays.
Oh, I want to see that so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
It was cute. I was expecting a hell of a lot more like riotous laughter.
Oh.
And there's not that. It was cute. It was funny at times. I laughed out loud a couple of times. Nothing, it was fine. It was
maybe no riotous laughter, but maybe joyous laughter.
No, short bursts of laughter.
Oh, like giggling.
A little more than a giggle, probably about the length of a giggle. Okay. Is that a giggle? No, a giggle is like.
No, I guess that's more like it's just sort of like an annoying sound that you make. There's plenty of them, but. If they could just see the wounded puppy that you just became.
Yeah.
Anyway, baby, go on. Yeah. You go on with your day. Go on. No, what else happened? Okay. What else had happened?
What else you got, bitch? What else you got? You want to go there? Let's go.
You been doing anything else this week?
Hold on, my rage is simmering down. Just hold for a second.
That's just gas.
We have been watching, I have already seen, but Paul had not, The Bear, which if you haven't seen The Bear out there, Don't despair, because I am here to
Oh, that's
help
so
you.
bad.
It is so fucking good. It is an amazing piece of television.
No
it's just
spoilers now,
good.
because
I'm
I
not
ain't
saying
seen
that.
it yet.
I know that's your own fault that it's going to be 5 years before you see it.
I don't care.
That's your own
I might
damn
could be
fault.
dead by then, but I will be
Yeah,
able to watch it
that's
in
the
its
perk.
entirety.
That's the perk. That you might be dead by then, and you will have never seen it.
True.
Beyond that, no, nothing new or exciting. Oh, it was the Woodward Dream Cruise this
Oh
weekend.
Lord, I don't miss that shit.
Oh, it's so noisy and loud, and you're locked in for 2 days basically. I mean, it starts, on Monday, but you can still kind of get around. I mean, not if you're there. If you want to drive on Woodward at night, that whole week is toast. Um, but we survived. It's over for another year. Woohoo!
Woo! You made it, baby.
That's all. That's all.
I mean, that's enough. That's a lot of stuff happening.
Mm-hmm. 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 Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm going to take another sip of my water because I have a little frog in my throat.
Oh, so I have a question for you then.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many times you checked your Facebook today? That is a really dramatic pause.
Yeah, it's really way too long. But I'm legitimately trying to think of how many times I checked my. I don't know, 10 times on my phone.
I'm just curious.
How about you? I mean, you don't go on very much at all. Well, I guess you have been lately because of this and because of Shell.
Yes, because of the restaurant. I've been helping to manage that page as well, which I finally got active again because it somehow disappeared into its oblivion, and now it's back. And it is gaining followers like really fast. So I'm trying to keep up with everything, and people always have questions and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm probably on it more now than I have been in a while.
Yeah.
I've been known to take breaks from social media. I think you know that.
I have too.
And I don't know. I do it just because sometimes I just get tired of the whole following up on things, like, or trying to remember to respond to something, or I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just laziness, really.
Interesting. I didn't realize that was the reason. Like no. I didn't.
No, not the reason why I take social media breaks, but I'm talking about how I can get, sort of like annoyed by Facebook, generally.
Yeah.
Just because of
lots of reasons there to be annoyed. There's a lot of reasons.
I mean, mostly I cannot stand what it has become now with politics and everything. It just feels like that has become the predominant thing that a lot of people post about or talk about. And it's just indicative of the divisiveness of our country as it continues to get worse, and people posting or feeling like compelled to post about what they believe or what tribe they follow, or that kind of mumbo jumbo. And I do, especially around times when it's like an election of some sort. I'm just like, let me get the fuck off of here, because I cannot stand it anymore.
Next year's gonna be so bad.
I'm dreading it.
I won't be surprised if we end up in a civil war.
Oof.
I really won't. I really won't be surprised. There's been enough violence already to prove that one side is actively, hoping for that in a way.
Oh yeah.
And our side, I don't think is prepared. So.
Well, and I think, the thing that I find super interesting is that this social media, which we all consume like crazy. I mean, all of us are social media people. But I just completely forgot what I was going to say.
Well, not everybody are. So I know people who still don't have Facebook. I know people who don't use any social media at all, who barely
That's
use
yeah.
email, which is amazing. So there are definitely still social media people or non-social media people these days, which is few and far between. But there are. It's not impossible to find them.
Well, I was looking up, knowing that this was going to be our topic. I always like to just kind of like, gurgle some fun facts type things just for information wise because I find it interesting. But actually, 74% of Americans use social media, which I
Yeah,
think is,
that makes
I mean,
sense.
when considering like, the age of the population, when you've got all the babies and people who are, old
But
who
those
might
old
not
people
be on
use
social
Facebook.
media. Yeah, they do. But 74% just seems like a lot. And of course, America is the number one country as far as
Yeah.
people who use social media. Um, but I don't know. The whole thing surprises me. Um, how caught up people can get in somebody's little one sentence post.
Yeah.
That's the part that I get the most tired of. Just somebody makes a statement and then others people feel compelled to go on there and comment something different and say, well, no, this is how you should be believing it, or this is the reason why that's
I
the
mean,
way it
that
is,
is
or
social media. That is
it is.
exactly the definition of social media is a town square where everybody can air their grievances, basically. I
That's a
mean,
good
the
way of
town
putting it.
square is what Twitter was originally. That's what Jack Dorsey always said about Twitter. Is he wanted it like a virtual town square. But it is sort of, I think, just devolved into a town square where everybody can come to air their grievances,
Yeah.
who can be, snide little bitches.
It gets infuriating though, right? I
Yeah,
mean, when people say stupid shit that is not based in fact and that,
yeah.
it just is frustrating. And I'm not saying that every single goddamn thing I post is factual or, that I did research on it or whatever. I
Right,
mean, yeah, some of it's my opinion or whatever, which,
right.
you know, I'm certainly allowed to have an opinion. But when people start quoting those things that comes specifically from a news media organization that leans in one particular direction,
Yeah.
that they're just being fed this
Are you worried you
information.
get sued?
Well, no, I'm being politically correct to a degree.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
we might have some Republican ass people listening. I mean, I kind of doubt it, but
It's
it's possible.
possible. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Paul doesn't listen, so isn't he's not my husband. Doesn't listen.
Yes. Still surprises me that
Yeah,
he plays for that team.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, and see, for me, for Facebook, I don't get into. I'm trying to think like the last time I got into some kind of problem on Facebook, but that's because I have basically created my own little bubble of I've silenced or hidden
Yeah.
people that post things that
You
make
have
me
to.
confrontational, and I try to just go on there and use it for dog things and seeing people's children and keeping up with people, whereas it used to be, I mean, I would get into 10 different arguments a day on
Yeah.
Facebook because of who I had my friend list. But it's like not worth it. I mean, I'll still comment something if I see some bullshit.
Oh, totally.
I'm not gonna lie. If something slips through, I'm still commenting. But luckily, I'm in these cruise line Facebook groups, uh, and I don't know if they moderate them out, but they're surprisingly no political discussions,
Wow.
which I just love. I don't think there's ever been a post where I've been like, and this sounds weird. Oh, I know that person's a Trumper or something. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right,
never
right.
or I know that person's a Democrat. I just mean So it's interesting. People are respectful of that, I think, for the most part, keeping that shit
That's
out.
pretty cool.
Yeah. I kind of just now thought about it as we were talking. So wait,
It's funny though. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, we kind of jumped in with Facebook, but I mean, we should really talk quickly about things like Friendster. Do you remember
Hmm.
Friendster?
I do. Although I never did it, but
You never were on Friendster?
I was not. No. I
Oh,
didn't
interesting.
I didn't actually I didn't get involved in any kind of social media until when I had my heart surgery. So, actually sorry, no, just before my heart surgery. So that it would have been about probably like 2007 when I did my first MySpace account, and I remember doing that. But MySpace to me was all about music. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that was, I think, why I gravitated towards that social media platform,
Yeah.
was because of the fact that you could connect with musicians, different bands across the world.
Which you can do
And
now with
well,
every
yeah, now,
social
but
media
at
type.
that time, it was the
Yeah.
first time you could do
Yeah.
that. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I remember even
Yeah.
talking to a couple of artists like that I really liked, who actually responded and talked to me. And I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing.
Yeah. MySpace was cool. I'm sorry.
It
If anyone wants to
was.
fight me on that, you can. But MySpace was cool at the time. What you could,
I
it's
totally
certainly
agree.
cooler than what Facebook is, I think.
Yep.
Because it's got all of the stuff from Facebook, but you don't have your little wall where you can put like magnets and shit.
Yeah,
and
you can
music
decorate your
playing
shit. You can
and
decorate it.
all of that. I used to have one that was like a refrigerator with like refrigerator magnets on it that people could like leave you little messages, just like, hi. I mean, you couldn't
Oh, yeah, I
talk
remember that.
words, but
Hmm.
yeah. So that was, so first I had Friendster. I definitely remember being on Friendster, and then transitioned to MySpace, and then to Facebook, and now I'm just old. Now I'm just old. And Facebook is all I really do.
Well, you do get to a certain point where you're like, I just can't adopt a new social media platform again.
I
It's just
tried
like,
with Twitter for years and years and years to really understand it. I just don't. And especially now, I mean, I've completely deleted my Twitter account, even though I loved my handle. But
is
now
that
I
the
wouldn't.
Gadget Gay one?
Magic, yeah.
I like that one too.
Thank you, trademark Ryan Moore.
Ah.
But I wouldn't use Twitter now if you paid me $1 million. Now he just came out and said that he's taking away the ability to block people. So you can mute them, apparently, whatever that means on Twitter, but you can't block except in DMs.
All right, look, this show is called Only Slightly Opinionated, so we are allowed to have our opinions, but that vile, horrible, despicable excuse for a human being, Elon Musk, is, I mean, he just skeeves me. He's
so gross.
He's so gross, and every word that comes out of his mouth, I just want to bitch slap him. I just want to be like, "Shut the fuck up!"
He
Boom.
Needs to be bitch slapped. Really
totally,
hard.
Because
if anybody ever needed to be slapped, that's why I was hoping for the goddamn cage match with him and Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, wouldn't that just be?
Is cut. Have you seen the pictures of Zuckerberg without his shirt on?
No.
Oh my god, you got to look that shit up. It's just like one picture, but he is built. Like, he has been working out and training for this. And that's why Musk is not ever going to do it, because Musk his ass beat.
He's just such a dipshit.
Oh my god, he's like Jeff Bezos is the cartoon villain,
right?
Standard, and Elon Musk is like the dumb cartoon villain. I mean, I know he's not dumb, I know whatever, but I think mostly what he's done is sell, as opposed to actually, I don't think he's actually come up with any of the technology. As far as I could be correct, I could be incorrect on that, but I don't think so.
No, he just puts the money in and shit.
Yeah.
He's not smart enough to think of anything on his own.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I stay away from
the Twitters.
And really, Instagram, I enjoy Instagram. I just don't ever think about Instagram. Like, I'll do it and then I'll sit there for like 20 minutes scrolling through posts. But
I feel like, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I hate how Instagram is not chronological. It
That
drives me
irritates the
absolutely
fuck out of me.
crazy. It makes me
Yep.
so mad.
Yep. I agree.
So go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, Instagram to me, like, it's so much more for a younger generation. And I know that makes me sound old, and I know it makes me sound like the old person who's complaining about the something new.
No.
But I mean, I just can't relate to it with a bunch
Yeah.
of people taking pictures of themselves trying to make them look fabulous all the time. And it's just
Yeah.
like, I mean, you know, nobody's life is like picture perfect. And
Right.
so I really feel that that particular social media outlet really does focus on that false perception of what people should, you know, try to look like, or you know,
Yeah. What you should eat. All of that. Everything.
all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
don't, I mean, it's a fun little platform as far as like to post things on and, you know, to get feedback from people or whatever. But I never dove into it for far enough to have like enough followers to like feel like I'm being engaged in any way to want to communicate with people. I just kind of started using it as I'll put most of my pictures of my dogs on Instagram.
I think
Because I'm sure Facebook people are like, oh, it's another picture of Joey's fucking dogs.
That's all. I think all I have on my Instagram is pictures of my dogs.
Yep. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with it. But I miss old Facebook. Like when it, you know, when it was first, when everybody really started going to it, and becoming sort of big. Like, I mean, if you think about even for you and I, like, I moved down here in 2003, so that was pre-social media, and well, you know, before it really took off anyway. But so you and I maybe talked once every couple weeks, maybe once every few weeks,
Yeah,
even.
because it was also long distance wasn't free
Exactly.
with everything yet. It wasn't, you know, they charged 10 cents a minute or whatever it was, you know.
And so it was a great way of like keeping up with you, with my other family members and friends that, you know, seeing what they were doing. And I was like, I loved looking at everybody's pictures. And as we've gotten older, it's like, oh, you know, people we went to school with and like, you know, so-and-so's kids. Like I was really interested in looking at pictures of people's kids because I'm like, oh, you know, this is cool. I love to see that these people are growing up and this is what they're into, or they've passed on their love of theater or whatever, you know, just something really fucking interesting. And I loved hitting the like. I'm like, oh, just so you know, Joey's looking at this and I like it. I mean, it's so stupid, but well, oh yeah, this audience, you cannot see me, but I was hitting that like button with fervor. I was. But yeah, I missed that time when it was nice like that. And all of your posts came up basically in order and you didn't see the same fucking post over and over and over again.
And the same people, they only show you a certain amount of your friends.
Like 5 people.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's so stupid.
Like, I'm sure you can go in and change those settings, but have you ever tried to mess with the fucking settings on Facebook?
Yeah, and I don't think you can. That uses their algorithm, and I don't think you can say don't use the algorithm, just show me everybody's posts.
Right.
So it has to serve you ads, which used to be like one ad every 5 posts. Then it was one ad every 2 posts. Now it's 3 ads between every 2 posts.
Yeah.
It's all ads.
It is. It's so many ads. And it's
ridiculous.
Often like things that are being suggested to you that I'm like, well, who the fuck is suggesting that to me? Like,
have you ever been stupid? I know Marty has brought from Temu. Have you ever ordered something off a Facebook site?
Oh, I did. I sure did. And I got took like a motherfucker.
What did you
I ordered this beach chair. You know, one of those cool beach chairs where if you're laying on your stomach, you have a little space for your face to like
a massage chair sort of.
Yeah, and your hands can go through too, and you can be like holding a book or whatever. And it's got this little thing, this foot thing that props up. So if you want to prop your feet up, and I was like, ooh, I was like, all that for like $15? That's awesome. I'm gonna order one. I kept waiting and waiting, and they're slick
Oh,
too, because they even send you an email when you make the order that's like, oh, you can track the shipment, and they got like fake shipment tracking websites where they just basically like do a Google map of your area, and they'll be like, oh, look, your delivery driver is right here. It's like, and that shit
really?
never
Did you
ever came.
report the company?
I did. I finally like emailed them, and I kept emailing because nobody would respond to me. And so I was getting kind of pissed off. And I
Right.
sent one that was kind of like, could somebody just respond to me? That's all I want, is to be acknowledged. And of course, I got an email from some girl that was like, oh, we're so sorry you didn't get it. It shows that it was delivered. And I was like, well, I know it shows that it was delivered, but it was not delivered. And then she said, well, how did what did you want? I said, well, I'll take a refund, or you could send me another one. We'll send one out right away. And then I sent her back a message, which was never replied to. And so again, I've been waiting for like a month, and it's not here. So I'm just not going to get it. I know I'm not going to
You
get it.
got like took. I thought you just
I
got.
sure did.
My experiences have all been just buying something that seemed hey
Oh, no, don't do it.
seemed too good to be true. And they usually are. I can't think of any at the moment except for the one that I'm waiting for. That's the only one I can think of now. And I after I realized what I had done, that I had placed
Yeah.
this order that from a company that was a Chinese company,
Uh-huh.
then I was like, oh shit, because it was just t-shirts. It's just like what I'm wearing now, like a t-shirt with, and these ones were all like,
Oh, I have that same shirt, by the way. You're
oh,
Crystal
do you?
Lake. Oh, Camp Crystal
Hey.
Lake.
But like, I didn't get one, but one's is like 7-Up. One, they're like product shirts
Yeah.
that are sort of vintage, supposed to be sort of vintagey looking, and they were being advertised for $3.99 each, and then if you ordered 15, you got 30% off.
Oh,
So
that's a bargain.
I got 13 shirts and 2 hoodies for like $42.
Ooh.
And then I found out it was a Chinese thing, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I'll ever even get it now. Now that I didn't realize that was a possibility, I thought it was
No,
just
you got took
crap.
just like me. That's because the chair was from China too, and they even, like I
Oh,
said,
but
when you
all
get,
those ads are from China. Everything.
oh yeah,
is from China.
yeah. But even my little like tracking thing was like, here it is in China. Here's where it is on the road in
Well,
China.
this one has a tracking service that I have seen before, because it's one that has been used for other Chinese
What's it called?
packages.
Do you remember?
Nope, but I
don't
don't
remember
think there's
either.
a name. Hold on. Let me
I
see.
can't remember what mine was either, but
Uh,
it was something I had never heard of. I'd never been familiar with. So that was definitely a first for me.
Seeing if I can find it really quickly. Open orders, there we go. Wild Flock is the company.
Nope, I don't know that.
And then here's the tracking number, but I can't. If I click on the tracking number without copying the tracking number, it doesn't auto-populate. You click on it. Track 678 is what it's called.
Track 678. No, yeah, I don't think that's the one.
And when I do the tracking, like it's progressed. Order information received, arrive at cross the border receiving point. Now it's at Hong Kong International Airport.
Yeah, mine had all that too.
It did?
Yep. It had all that, but it never came.
Because I have seen I've this tracking company I have used before with other. That's how I knew it was a Chinese company, because when the tracking number came, I was like, oh, that's that weird Chinese one.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I hope people understand that I'm just talking about the number was weird, not
right. No, yeah.
Chinese.
Yeah, we're not talking bad about Chinese people.
Or
we're
China,
talking
just about the. Come on, everybody knows the you can get anything. In China.
Basically any kind of international shipment, but China happens to be like the number one purveyor of all these cheap items that
Yeah.
you can, get for dirt cheap and be like super excited about, but your chances of getting them are only like 50%. So
Yeah.
that's not a
Everything
real
else I've ever
statistic, but
ordered, no, everything else I've ever ordered that has been a Chinese thing, and there's probably been 3 or 4 different things, has always come.
yeah, me
I
too.
haven't had that issue before, so I wonder if somehow your product just got sent somewhere else, and then the second one they were like, we're not sending him a second
Right. They're like, we'll just
because
tell him
he's
we're sending
lying.
one,
Because he's
but
lying and he
yeah.
has it there. He's just trying to get a free chair.
I mean, if they're sitting back going, Americans lie, I mean, they're not entirely wrong. So,
No, no. Now, let me ask you this. Would you do we consider YouTube a social media site?
Absolutely.
It is? Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I
Yep.
love YouTube.
Well,
I
it's
fucking
funny.
love YouTube. I can't get into
It's
the new TikTokies, but I
no.
love a YouTube.
I love the YouTube too. And
It's because we're
it
old.
is the number 2 most visited website in the world behind Google.
Makes sense.
Google
Makes
is number
sense.
1. But I just thought, there's so much information and things available on YouTube, but I also have to say that it is another one that's based completely on algorithm. And
Yeah.
that brings me back to what the earlier on when I was going to say something and I completely had forgotten. I was
Okay.
talking about the whole algorithm thing.
Okay.
And how it has divided the country. Like people don't realize, I think, to what degree the information that is being filtered to them is based on what they watch. So
Right.
even if you watch a video that you might not agree with, or it's something that you're watching out of curiosity that may be completely against your belief system, that algorithm now is going to start peppering those things into your feed so that you may end up watching more of those videos. And then, all of a sudden you're getting all this disinformation that you don't even realize is happening. But they're just as guilty of it as any of these other places. And
Interesting.
yes, and knowing that other countries like Russia, or maybe China, I don't know.
No, definitely China.
but being influential to some degree, because YouTube has more, I mean, everybody can look at a meme on Facebook and be like, whatever, that's stupid. But when you're starting to watch these videos or things that are coming into your feed on YouTube, that's something that's a little bit more informational, that is, I think, could lead you to believe something that maybe you didn't necessarily believe before. That's all I'm saying.
I would not have thought. I would not, if you had asked me to put like who the worst social media company is, I probably right now would have put Twitter first, because they just don't.
Just because we hate Elon, but
and because he doesn't give a shit about the users, and then Facebook. I don't. YouTube would not have made it very high, because I think because my algorithm is filled with like, jolly good Englishmen and Broadway stuff, and I don't get things that every once in a while there'll be a video. No, even it's more that happens a lot on Facebook. Facebook, I will get ads or whatever that are just or stories or posts that are so obviously right wing, like rhetoric posts, that I wonder why are those coming to me?
Yeah, and it could just be because of something that you watched at one point or something.
Yeah,
like I have a friend.
You do?
His name's Greg Cooper. I mean, I have very few, but
sounds
Greg
like a
Cooper,
name to me.
he's
Greg
one.
Cooper.
And
Send us
listen,
an email, Greg Cooper.
Yeah, you listen here, Gregory Cooper. This is what he does, because he doesn't have a motherfucking iPhone. He's got some Android bullshit, and sends me links constantly via text message, and I can't see what they are. And he'll be like, he always sends another message like, you have to watch this. And I will click on that bullshit, and it will be something that I would never watch in a million years. And the next thing I know, my motherfucking YouTube feed is full of all kinds of that shit. As an example, I think I watched one video one time about I don't know, some wrestler or something. I don't know what it was. It just happened to come up in my feed and I watched it. Now my YouTube feed is full of like wrestling, people wrestling. And I'm like, I ain't wanting to watch all them goddamn people wrestling.
So
No,
you
baby. That shit is
one-
not exciting to me.
one episode, and it's full.
It is. Okay. Look, write in, people. You tell Jamie, because I don't know. Maybe he don't look at his YouTube feed.
It sound like you be watching some wrestling. That's what it sounds like, and you just don't want to admit it.
I ain't watching no damn wrestling. I hate wrestling.
What it sounds like. Well, methinks the lady doth protest too much. I think
so
you're a
crazy.
WWE, WWF, WW, whatever else there is.
It's a bunch of W's.
Some WWW.
There are 1 billion hours of video uploaded to YouTube every fucking day.
Really?
Billion
Did you like triple
hours.
double check that?
Yep. I mean, that's astonishing to me. That's why, I mean, it's the number one website visited behind Google. 500 hours of video uploaded every minute. 500 hours. I mean, people just be posting some random ass shit, and but still, it amazes me.
That's crazy.
I just
staggering statistic.
Exactly. I was kind of surprised by that. I thought, God, and how do they host all of that? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know you should know some of that shit. I don't know that technological ness. But there has to be some kind of like servers for all that information.
Of course there are. Yeah. Everything eventually leads back to a server somewhere.
It's crazy.
Whether that server, but you just wouldn't even know how many servers you hit unless you were like looking for that type of thing, tracing it or whatever.
And then, well, I mean, of all the social media too, like that being, if we're really going to truly say it is social media, because to a degree it is, if people are posting videos of their opinions or
it's
their
social and it's media. So.
I mean, you can comment, you can interact and all that stuff. Yeah. But it's in 90 countries that's available in 80 different languages. So, I mean, that's cool. To me, that's just like, it's pretty astonishing how much that is prevalent around the whole world.
Yeah.
And again, though, based on algorithm, which is kind of scary. Because, AI going to take over this shit anyway one day.
No,
uprising going to happen.
Said we're all worrying about AI and we shouldn't be. But then I thought maybe he's a robot. We don't know.
That's it. See? Maybe he was programmed to say that. It was a artificially intelligentized video.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
It could happen.
Yeah. So what else you got to say?
Well, one other fact that I thought, one other one that I thought was really interesting was that on Twitter, which, like you, I don't think I ever really used Twitter very much. My Twitter claim to fame was that Rosie O'Donnell followed me on Twitter. I still maintain. That's right. You got Margaret Cho. And I still maintain that she thought I was some other person. That's why she followed me. But
Margaret knew it was me because she commented on a post.
Oh. It was early on. I think I just followed Rosie O'Donnell and then she followed me back. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I do like Rosie.
Yes. When years and years and years ago, when AOL was burgeoning, I used to talk with Rosie O'Donnell on AOL.
Remember AOL?
Yep.
I
didn't know it was her at first, and then came to find out that it was her.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Well, the interesting fact that I was going to pass along was that there are 390 million Twitter accounts that have 0 followers.
Yeah.
And the reason I thought that was interesting is because, basically Twitter is where most of the trolls live.
Yeah.
Where it to me, that's the downfall of Twitter, is the fact that it is such a booming site for people who can facelessly just say the most horrible things to other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And it's just awful. Like, you get to the point anymore.
He's a free speech purist.
Yeah.
That's not my. I wasn't doing a Elon Musk impression.
No.
I was just doing a voice.
He was doing a moronic person impression.
Yeah. More,
but it's
more or less onic. I don't know.
It's like, getting to the point now where you don't even like to look at I used to enjoy reading comments on different things, like, oh, what do people say? But now, no, now.
Never. Oh my God, especially on like a political story or, anything involving someone of what am I trying to say? A minority, any minority, whatever minority you might be, if it's a story about that, I mean, I'm just like, the times that I have done that, and I probably went to go comment myself something and then saw those comments, and I'm just like, But and so much of that shit too is also just computers. It's just bots.
Yeah, which is true. But the ones that I don't believe are bots are the things like I'll get a notification on my phone that'll be like, man saves baby turtle or whatever, and releases it back to the ocean. And then I'll go and like look at the comments, and inevitably the first fucking comment is like, well, if that was Biden, he would have stomped on it. Like, something like, why the fuck? Does that comment have to be there?
Baby turtle. Yeah, exactly. That's why I really like the Facebook groups, man. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's all Facebook groups, but all the ones that I'm involved in, which is only 2. But I don't think I've ever seen I've seen people be snarky. I've seen, stuff like that, but I've never seen anybody spout any kind of political bullshit for either side.
I get so frustrated though. I mean, that's one of the things too, is that, when you're typing, it's, people don't always understand your intention. Right. Like, if you're trying to be tongue in cheek or wink, wink, it's just like it doesn't translate. So, I think I told you not too long ago how I joined some Facebook groups that were, for the gay community, because I was like, I thought I could maybe pepper in information about our podcast to just try and let people know that this is something that we were doing. Yeah. And most of those Facebook groups, they don't allow you to, try and advertise or sell something. So, but I know a lot of these groups, like, even if you post or you make comments and stuff like that, people do look at your profile. And of course, our profile pictures are of our podcast. So I thought, well, even that could bring a couple people that might want to, check out our show and see whatever. So I joined some of these groups, and I was like, I don't know, LGBTQ plus community outreach or something. And then some other ones. And there was one called Monogamous Gay Men. And so I was like, oh, well, that's cool. I'll join that one and see what that one's like or whatever. And I was enjoying some of those posts and comments. And, there's always the people that get on there and they think it's like some dating site or whatever. And they post crazy information. I mean, to some degree it is, but most people just get on there and ask.
Monogamous Gay Men is a place where people go.
Yeah.
I guess you don't have to be in a relationship to be monogamous. So
true.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what people talk about, because a lot of the people will post like, I'm struggling in the dating scene. I'm sort of old fashioned. I just want to be with one person or whatever, and and people comment. And of course, a lot of them, like, you'll click on a profile and they have like 6 followers and you're like, okay, this person's not even real or whatever. Right. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. But so I put this post on there that was because, we were talking about different ideas that we were possibly going to do, you and I, about subjects and everything like that. So I thought, I'm going to ask this question and see what kind of feedback I get. So I put a question on there that was basically like, I know a lot of people who are sexually active have kinks or, things that they secretly fantasize about, or things that, they kind of tuck away for some other purpose or whatever. But when you're in a that was not how I worded it, but
It's like,
when you're
where's this going? I'm so confused.
when you're in a monogamous relationship, do you indulge in this kink, or is that something that you keep hidden from your partner? Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just out of curiosity. I got so many fucking hate comments.
Really?
People were so rude to me.
Why?
Like,
What?
I couldn't believe it. I was shocked, literally shocked.
Like, what was the problem? What did people?
Well, people were like, "Oh, I can't believe that this is what this site has become. What kind of topic or what kind of question is that?" And of course, I put another comment that was like, "Well, I'm just trying to ascertain if you're in a monogamous relationship, and you have some sort of a kink or sexual interest that might be different. Do you engage with your partner, or is that something that you keep secret into yourself? I don't see how that's inappropriate in any way, shape, or form."
Right.
And then I kept getting more comments that people were just like bashing me and saying these horrible things. And I was like, fuck this group. So I was just like, bye-bye, peace, bitches. But I was like, fuck these groups. So I got no interest in them groups no more.
No.
They can suck a dick or go have sex with an animal if that's what they're into.
Wow. From fellatio to bestiality in 2 seconds flat.
I mean, people are weird. You know that. People got some weird ass shit.
People are strange when you're a stranger.
But I don't know. That's, social media. I have a love-hate relationship with it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When it's, when it's nice, when I can see that I have, a core group of people on Facebook that I engage with a lot that, are interesting to me because they post fun things or things that I want to be aware of. That's what I enjoy. All the rest of it, they can have that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And that's my opinion.
That's your opinionary.
Mm-hmm.
Opinionation.
Speaking of opinionaries.
Yeah.
I know you said it once already, but please, come on, people. Send us an email.
Don't beg. Don't.
Oh, not
beg.
begging. Look, bitches, send us an email if you want to or not,
threaten.
Okay?
Don't beg or threaten. Neither.
And I'm not threatening you, bitches, but if you want to, look, osopodcastcontact@gmail.com. Hit us up. So what else you got to say, baby?
Nothing.
Nothing?
God dang thing.
Normally you can't shut your ass up.
I gotta get a sound effect. So each time you insult me, I can play the sound effect, and then we'll know that's too long.
You scared the shit out of me.
They're all too long. Oh, this one's good. Yeah, I'll do that one.
Oh. What am I going to do every time you insult me?
I don't know. You don't need to worry about it because I never insult you. Not on the podcast anyway.
Not on the podcast anyway. Y'all heard that shit. Y'all heard it. The truth done came out.
But I don't. I don't do it. Because I'm a nice guy.
On the podcast.
Yes,
you ain't fooling nobody, Jamie. You ain't fooling nobody.
I'm a badass.
So what you gonna do the rest of your day today? What you gonna do with it?
Nothing. Hopefully get a little nap.
Oh, me too.
Even though I haven't done shit. Make dinner. Finish my laundry. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Oh well. All right, baby. Well, I think that's probably all.
I think we fully gave our opinionations on the social medias.
Yep. So I will give you a big mwah and say thanks to everybody for listening, and I'll say bye-bye to you.
And I will let everybody know that, oh, your kiss just smacked at me in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt it. And that I equally love you. And I send a bitch slap back your way, too.
Yeah. All right, then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Bye.
I love you. Bye-bye.